are behind the bar, and I've missed you guys so much. We're so happy to be back. We had a lot of things change while we were gone, so, you know. What's your cue? Welcome back. We are behind the bar. I've missed you guys. We had a few things change, but, you know.
But not this motherfuckers! You were worried it was just gonna be Ashley!
We're so excited to be back. And we have Patrice Brown, who is one of my recently new favorite people in the world because maybe single-handedly has drugged me back out from the gutter post-election and told me that we gotta do some more shit.
Lots.
To get your shit together.
Lots.
And so I'm happy that you're here.
Thanks for having
specifically.
me.
These two are just meeting.
Yeah.
I know, you've been having to hold us backstage.
I know.
I knew they would connect, and they've already had amazing conversations that I've had to delete.
Very often. Normally we do kind of a deep dive on our guests, and I know who they are, or you know who they are, and you said, I want you to go in blind.
You came into the house and you go, I need a bio, and I go, you're not going to get one.
Not going to get one.
Today is a blind show. I don't even have a question written down, which is the first time, by the way.
Okay, well, just fire away.
And also, this show can be as funny or as heavy as we want. So feel free to say inappropriate things.
And out. Oh, that's my
Come in and out, weave around.
That's what I do.
Be you. What are we drinking?
That's what I do. Gin and tonic, please.
Gin and tonic.
Yes.
I have all the ingredients for that. Let's fuck some shit up.
I have all the taste buds.
You got it. Yes. Jenny doesn't drink gin. I'm going to make you an espresso martini.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Instead of tonic, because I'm not a traditionalist in anything, I have a beautiful grapefruit tonic that is beautiful with gin.
That's going to be
and it's
fever
wonderful. And Jenny wishes she
wanna
drank
hear-
gin.
You want to hear something really funny? Kelsey was trying to figure out how to make.
great.
My sister was trying to figure out how to make margarita, like a kind of a skinny margarita.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I found this really cool tonic. It's called Fever Tree." And I said,
She did not.
"Yeah." She kind of had a British accent. And she
When
said,
was this? 1999.
No, literally, it was for Marcus's birthday 2 weeks
Kelsey
ago.
fucking
She
Perry.
said Fever Tree. I said
Feather tree.
Fever.
Fever tree.
Instead of fever. It's fever.
Oh my God.
Fever Tree. And I said, I don't know what is happening.
She's gonna
Did you have a stroke?
Your sister's gonna kill you for this.
She's not gonna kill me.
Let me tell you a secret. 98% of the people who follow behind the bar is because they follow your sister.
100%. 100% of the people who follow behind the bars because they follow.
Thank you, Kelsey. We're not making fun of you. We love you. Cheers, Patrice. We are so happy to have you on our
Good
show.
to be here.
One of these things.
You were the first guest back since when?
We took
6 months.
We took a little summer hiatus. We were in our activism era.
Every band needs a break. Every band needs a break.
People were watching reruns, but they were hitting us up in social places saying, "When are we coming back?" And we said, "We're not coming back."
All 4 of Kelsey Walsh's friends were all over me.
until we were like, we need this next guest to be kind of a home run, knock out of the park human being.
How did I get here?
That's why you're here.
I'm just asking for a friend.
So Patrice is, and I mean this is a serious statement.
Okay. I'll be serious.
No, you don't have to be.
Okay, good.
But I'm going to be for just
Okay,
a
you
second,
can be. You
which is
can be.
rare.
Okay.
So that election sucked.
It does.
It
did.
It's fucking awful. We're
Yes.
all
Yep.
bleeding. We're all trying to figure out where we go from here.
Yep.
So post-election, my personal story, I felt like I was dead. I couldn't even parent. I could not parent. That's never happened. I woke up just in pure deflation. And I woke up, I don't often not have any words, but there were no words I could give to people. There were no words I could give to people that were reaching out. I felt like I just needed to deflate like a bubble for a minute and just be where I was. And it was you, truly. There were 2 things that you specifically said that kind of got me into that next phase of, okay, there's acceptance, and now we really can't just deflate. We can't just lay on the ground, and we can't not parent, and we can't be that version of ourselves.
That's right.
So it was you, just so you know, that did that, and it was very intuitive and immediate that I thought, Patrice needs to be our next guest on Behind the Bar. And I told Hailee, I didn't ask Hailee, I always ask Hailee, how do you feel about this person? should we interview this person on Behind the Bar?
You said, just trust me.
And I just said,
And isn't that what you said when you walked in today? You said, I really don't even know what I'm doing or why I'm here.
Yeah.
I just said, there's one person
Yeah.
on the planet, maybe two, that they could ask me to do something, and without any other
Yeah,
questions,
yeah.
I'd say, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
which
I can't
is a
believe
terrible
I did
decision
it.
from her
Okay.
perspective
Correct.
because I don't often lead down very good paths. But
Correct.
Okay.
But she does.
But
it's
every
always
once
a
in a
yes,
while, we
so
get a-
that's-
Well, I
we
hope
get
I'm the
jewel.
exception then.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm the exception.
But okay, so you two together, I think, will be. Segue. You, similar timing, said to me, during our next phase of activism, which we all need to turn up,
Big time.
our focus should be art creation. You had all these like blips of like kind of similar spirit as Patrice, honestly. You guys were kind of saying the same thing without knowing each other. So I thought this would be just a very fun, free-flowing interview. And also kind of a healing hour for everybody going
And
through
activating,
this.
I hope, not just
Activating
Yeah.
and healing.
Yeah.
All that to say, the quote you started with that I just really, this was post you getting me out
So
of the gutter.
she shared this in Patrice shared this in a thread. You
that
felt
I
like
want to
it
discuss.
Really
She
activated
said,
you.
I think it vitally important for women of color to share their experiences with the hope of bridging the gap with the 50+ percentage of white women that continue to vote against their own interests. Can we dive into that statement first? Because
Where do we start?
Bam. I want you to be honest. Like, bring it.
So my post-election feeling, I wasn't surprised. It was funny. I went back through a text message thread with a friend of mine when Kamala was first announced. She's like, oh my God, what do you think? And I said, this country's not ready for a black woman. She said, I think you're wrong. I love it when white women tell me that I'm wrong.
Oh God.
Especially when you don't know my lived experience. That's
Right.
okay. So
I
at
was
about
really hopeful.
7 o'clock, well, I allowed myself to get hopeful. I mean, she came out, things were great. And then I worked the election protection hotline, which is a bunch of lawyers that take calls from all over the country.
Patrice is a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
A badass lawyer. We'll talk about that later.
During the day. But I was concerned about some of the things that were coming in, you know, absentee ballots or mail-in ballots that were canceled, various things. So she loses, and I woke up, and I was angry because Kamala's defeat to me was a confirmation of how I feel this country feels about black women, because I could not wrap my head around, you have a convicted felon and a host of other things who very recently had done that weird 45-minute dance, and let us not forget whatever he was doing on camera and all the despicable things that came out of that New York rally of his. And that's who America chose
Yeah.
over a wildly talented, bright, biracial woman.
Yeah.
So I felt further spit on, and I was pissed. I was
Yeah.
really pissed.
Yeah.
And then I looked at whether it was, some polls were saying it was 60% of white women, 50%, and I thought, geez, why do you guys hate us? Why do you fear black women so much? I've evolved a little bit. I agree with, there's an organization called Win with Black Women. It's been around a while, but it really ramped up during the pendency of Kamala's election, and they had a conference call the Sunday after.
Okay.
It was healing for me because
Yeah.
we are all tired.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm mad at the Democratic Party
Yeah.
because black women and black men who they tried to disparage throughout the election carried Joe Biden in 2020 and did it again in 2021.
Yeah.
And
And just dropped Kamala.
and
on
dropped
her face.
what they did to her even leading up to that. It was a discussion I had ad nauseum with my partner because I always said they're not doing anything to develop Kamala. Who is the Democrats' next person? And if it's her, you can't tell. So I just have a range of emotions, and probably right now I have probably the worst that I can have because I'm typically not like this. It's kind of apathetic. You know, when Trump came out and said mass deportation, I thought, oh well, 42%, 48% of Latino males, you asked for it. And then I got scared because the guy that he put in charge to do this is a huge fan of workplace raids. And what people don't understand with those workplace raids, you know, he's not going to go down to some place where they have day worker standing on the corner. This guy's going to bust into businesses and he's going to grab you or you because of what you look like. I don't care if you got papers or not. You're going to go through your paperwork and be allowed to leave once you've been taken down to wherever they're going to put you. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then I'm all over the place. The Speaker of the House, who just decided that bathrooms were just for people.
So Speaker Johnson limiting the use of bathrooms for trans folks. So
What an
Just
awesome use of energy. That's
But
great.
you know, that kind of, and I've been having many one-off discussions with people because my mantra has, always been, I think it happened in 2020 when people suddenly got awakened. And I said to my partner, I said, why are you people acting like this shit is new?
Yeah.
Because it's not new to me.
Yeah. Like you, I was not surprised by the result of the
Yeah,
election.
not at all.
This has happened before.
yeah, I said to you, I was not surprised. Am I shocked because of my hopefulness?
Right,
Is it
of course, you're
heartbreaking?
disappointed.
It's fully
But
heartbreaking.
am
Are
I
we
devastated?
surprised?
But am I surprised?
No.
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 I know who
No.
we are.
Yes.
I know who white women are.
Yeah, I mean,
2016 was a different emotion because it was like
I felt very
2016 was totally
betrayal.
different. I was scared.
there
I
was a
woke
scared
up
too.
scared
Me
in
too.
2016.
same, and I felt very betrayed because I didn't think it was actually possible that much of the country
felt that way.
Yeah. And then this election, for me personally, it was like they've shown us who they are. I mean, we know what we're up against, but like you,
And you
I
won.
think. But you like again, I go back to your quote of white women being so pro-Trump, which they are. I mean, the numbers are telling us that. So if like that, there's shame that comes with that too. There is. So, I mean, okay. So how do we?
Well, can we I think it's important to not just ask Patrice, okay, what do we do, right?
Yeah.
I think it's important to have conversations with Black women, with women of color, but
Absolutely.
not for us to say, so what do we do? Because
that's fair.
I've spent a lot of time reflecting on what am I supposed to do?
There you
what,
go.
What do I do right first?
Yeah.
Because here's what happened. Here's been my experience. When anything anti-LGBT happens, I have a bunch of straight cis folks who flood my DMs and say, "What do we do?" And I'm like, "No. What do you do?"
Well,
So I'm just saying, my first call to action is, if your feeling is, "What do we do?" Start with, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
And then if you don't have authentic relationships with Black folks, Black women, women of color, that's an analysis you need to be doing in your life so that you're having these conversations
There you go.
on a regular,
There you go.
daily basis.
Yep.
And
There
you're
you
not
go.
asking for just a Black woman on the street to
Right.
diagnose the misogyny and the racism. And how do we fix that?
Sure.
White people, cis people, straight people, end the isms. Full stop.
yeah.
Yep.
We are actually responsible.
I agree.
Yep.
For that.
Fully agree. Yes.
For that. So I'm not saying, I think it is important to have that part of the
Well-
conversation. I just want to say that up front because I think too often white folks in particular, well-meaning white women, shift the blame or the responsibility immediately
Absolutely.
to people of color.
Absolutely.
How do we fix it, Patrice?
Sure, 'cause-
give us the playbook.
Give us the answer.
Well, and that
Yeah.
100% wasn't my question. It was
No, I get
more
it.
My question, because it actually didn't have anything to do with
No, and I know
Black
it
or-
wasn't for you, but I'm just saying I
meant
feel
as
like
I'm more meant as a Democratic Party, as a at some point we literally now we're up against an authoritarian government. So like seriously, what do we do? You know?
In a perfect world, I would like to see all these different fractions of diverse populations come together and recognize we're all in the same boat.
strength together. Mm-hmm.
And I go back to, I remember my sister was very conservative during a time in her life, and her husband was the son of a rabbi. And I was in law school, and her oldest son had just come out. And I said to her, Denise, do you not understand when they come for one group, they come after the next one?
That is my favorite
It's the same thing.
Yep.
So let's go back to what happened on Capitol Hill about the bathrooms.
Yep.
I said to a friend of mine the other day, tell me how that's any different than the separate water fountains.
Of course.
When my parents had to sit up in the balcony to go to movies, it's not different.
It's not different.
What's happening are those injustices that some groups have been dealing with all their lives are now knocking on the door of cushy, privileged white America, whether you identify straight, gay, trans, whatever, and holy shit, the thought is, what do I do now? Because you've never had to think about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's, I used to work for Yellow. It was a trucking company. How much more male and white can you get?
Yeah.
So in 2020, when we all watched George Floyd, which was anomaly for some, normal for me, I remember talking to our CEO, and because I had withdrawn, well, the VP of HR had thrown my hat in the ring for the general counsel position. I didn't want anything to do with it. Mm-hmm. CEO wanted to talk to me. I said, I don't want to talk to you about the job because I don't want it. He said, I want to talk to you anyway. I walked into him and he said, how you doing? I said, you need a chief diversity officer or something. That company was riddled with racial discrimination, sexual discrimination, all that good
I
stuff.
can only imagine. Yeah, for sure.
But I thought it was interesting when he said, well, what do you mean? And I said, let me just give you an analogy here. I said, the other day, I live in Fairway. I call it God's country. And I was walking down Tomahawk, and at the time we only had 2 Goldens. And I said, it was Sunday morning, regular walk, and I was walking
When was
along.
this?
This was in 2020.
2020, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
20,
got it.
Yeah, 2020. I was walking along and I heard a car slowing down. And the CEO said, you pay attention to cars? I said,
Hell yeah.
all the time. And I said, and as the car approached me, it was going really slow, and I could just feel my body tense up. And because my dogs are more important than I am, I made sure they were really close to me.
Yeah.
And I just kept walking. And I heard this man say, excuse me, ma'am. And I thought, what the fuck? Because it was broad daylight.
Yep.
And even though I guess we would consider that Mission Hills, I didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
So I kind of turned around and I said, how may I help you? And he said, first of all, your dogs are beautiful. Well, that's a great thing to say.
Nice lead.
Because now I love you.
Yeah,
because,
nice lead
yes,
off.
you're right.
Yep.
Very nice lead
Correct.
off. And he said, I just want you to know how happy I am to see a person of color walking 2 beautiful dogs in my neighborhood. He said, because you belong here. I said, it's a good thing because I live here.
Yeah, because I fucking live here.
Yeah, I live here. But the fact that, an older white dude though, but I thought that was a moment for him that was a moment for him. And,
Yeah.
and it was also a moment for me because my expectation was the worst. And my expectation is always the worst.
Do you ever find
your
in those
Sorry.
do you ever feel in those moments the both and? Like
Yeah, that's a good question.
So okay, it was a moment for him. He was trying to bridge a gap.
Yes.
We need to capture those moments and feel that those moments move us forward. But
Yes.
then do you feel the undercurrent of that this white guy said, I'm so glad to see
it made him feel so
person
much
of
better about
color
himself.
walking dogs in this neighborhood. And you said, because I live here. And
Yeah.
I was like, that he might assume that you didn't live there.
Oh, they assume it all the time.
But do you know what I mean? The both and of that. Like,
I typically don't unless I'm provoked. And let me go to another story because my whole life is walking my dogs.
This is also very lesbian of you. But
I was walking my dogs one Sunday, and this woman stopped, and her dog stopped because she saw me coming, and she said, "Oh, I know your dogs. I know these dogs." And I said, "Yeah, okay." And she said, "Are you the dog walker?"
Oh my God.
And my head exploded, and I said,
When was this?
last
sorry,
year.
I always like
last
times.
year.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
I'm
Last
going to
year.
eat one of
Do we
these
have her
espresso
name?
beans, motherfuckers.
No.
You don't have to name drop her, but if you
well-
have her name, you can tell it to her off
Tell me,
record.
because
I
I
don't
live in the
know her
neighborhood
name,
I give her
but I live in
slash
Reinhardt
fires.
Estate, so it's a
Okay.
small
I
subdivision.
love Reinhardt.
And I lost my mind. Typically, I'm very gracious
There's
because
a list of people that Hailee has down
do.
to euthanize for me, and I just
Okay,
give her the
well-
name. So if you figure it out, I mean, I hope you're fucking scared later. You fucking.
I might have her name because I lost my mind. But typically, I'm very forgiving. I figure there are ignorant people because you don't know. And I'm happy to educate you, and then you're just stupid because you know and you don't know. Well,
And that also feels very intentional. on her part. To
Oh,
me,
yeah, oh, well, why would I be the dog walker? First of all, I wanted to say, bitch, how many dog walkers are walking along in a Patagucci hat and
fuck,
jacket?
you should have said it.
So I just didn't, but I looked at her when she said, oh, so are you the dog walker? And I said, I'm the fucking dog owner. Because all I could think about was, do you know how much these 2 dogs cost? And
Yeah, what a
I paid for
fucking
them, not on a nanny
There's
salary.
no excuse for it either. Like, there's just no excuse.
And
Like,
she goes,
that's just
oh, I'm
inexcusable.
sorry. I've seen a white woman walking the dog. Oh. And I said,
That's my wife.
And no, I said, that would be my dog walker. And because I was so angry. I was so angry. So when I got home, and I said,
Wait, I need the whole response from her too.
Did time slow down for her?
Did she slit her throat right then?
well, she just stood there and she goes, and I just did my hand because I have no time in my life for stupidity.
No.
So we were done.
So when the CEO of Yellow says, why do we need a diversity officer? He's not had those experiences.
Not at all.
Why would you care if a car is slowing down? He clearly has never thought about his safety in that way, whether you identify as a woman.
But unfortunately, the election has just proven, and sorry, but like it doesn't. They don't care about.
I'm
these
not saying they
experiences.
care, but I'm saying
They don't think. I don't know if it's a lack of caring, because this dude, well, until he kind of turned to a dark side for other reasons, I genuinely like this man.
The Yellow.
I just don't think, and I mean, if you think, and I'll admit this, there are things in my life that there are many things I don't think about if it doesn't touch me personally or my family.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and the analogy that I use, he was a runner, and I used to be a runner, and I said, when you go out for a run, what do you do to get ready?
This motherfucker just ran the New York Marathon.
I know, I saw it was crazy.
Yeah,
I
and I
ran 2
carried
and I just
bear
just-
spray.
it-
Just kidding. Not a New York Marathon.
well,
But I do carry bear spray when I run in the morning. by myself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's what I told him. I said, what do you do to get ready to run? I said, you grab your pods, maybe check what you're going to listen to, and you're out, right? He said, yeah. I said, do you think about which direction you're going? Did I go that same direction? No. I said, okay, do you think
Is it
about...
well lit?
Yeah, is it well lit? I said, do you carry anything besides your keys? He said, no. He said, what would you carry? I said, mace. I said, some days, depending upon if I wanted a little weight work, I'd carry a police billy club with me. And I said, and I wear 1 pod in my ear because I can't stand to hear myself breathe. Yeah. But I'm always
You
listening.
need one of your ears open.
Open.
Yeah.
Open.
And that's where, you know.
And I said, because I have to go out on a run and prepare for the what ifs.
Yeah.
I said, so as a woman, what if
Yeah.
I'm sexually assaulted? As
Yeah.
a black woman, what if there's a white supremacist group around, which isn't unusual, and it's time to knock off somebody black? I've got to think about those things. And he goes, wow. And I mean, you could literally see the light go off in his head, and he goes, wow, now I understand why it takes my wife so long to get ready when she goes out for a run. I go, there you go.
Yeah. And like going back to like a boots on the ground, having these conversations level.
Yeah.
That is literally what we need to be doing right now. I mean, for example,
Oh, 100%.
This is an example that's weird, but like when I adopted both my children as soon as they were born, and you know the adoption attorney I use,
of course,
because it's actually a very good mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
That lawyer friend of mine was like, no, you don't have to legally adopt your own children. You know, you're on the birth certificates. Gay marriage is protected. We have a Supreme Court that, like, everything lines up. But yes,
until it
we
doesn't.
need to adopt your children.
That's right.
Because of now. Because of last
Until it
week.
doesn't.
Here we are.
That's
you
right.
know, Roe
Yeah.
versus Wade got taken away for
Oh,
Christ's
God,
sake.
that was so.
So could I lose my children? Of course I can.
Yeah, and this is
So
why
now-
when they say, you know, you're being hysterical or that's hyperbole or we're not coming for gay marriage. I mean, I literally have had people say in my DMs, you're talking about the Dobbs decision and its association with the, you know, Obergefell decision, and there's no connection there. And I'm like, yes, there is.
They're all. It's.
I don't get, and it's gotten a little worse. I don't leave my house. I check and make sure I don't have anything in my car when I get stopped, because I got stopped. I used to go to a CrossFit gym over off 80th and Mornell at the ass crack of dawn. And
Like,
I
is
was
she talking about your gym?
no, that's what I go
She goes
now.
to my gym now.
75th and Warnell.
She goes to
Yeah,
my
75th
gym
and
now.
Mornell. So I was
City
snaking
gym,
through.
Sign up.
Yeah, sign up. I I stopped at a stop sign. I say I stopped because I looked left and right. And it was at Tomahawk and
Oh, they love that.
State Line.
That's-
where that little
that's their
church is.
spot.
Yeah. And, you know, the Popo parked his car. Popo is my word for police. Thank you, Tyler Perry. There was a black car parked in the parking lot. So I turned left to hit State Line. And I thought, here we go. So I immediately stopped and did this and rolled my window down, and I didn't move. And I said, may I ask why you're stopping me? Mm-hmm. And he said, you didn't stop at the stop sign. Okay. I wanted to debate him, not the time.
Yeah.
And he said, do you have any drugs in the car?
What? You're fucking coming from Tomahawk?
That was his
and
first
State
question.
Line? That's Mission
Right.
Hills.
Yeah.
Do you have drugs?
Do you have drugs? And my standard response when I stopped by a cop, I said, like you, I am also an officer of the court. So I do not have any drugs in my car. And he goes, are you, and I said, lawyer. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Can I have your...
Are you on the job?
Can I have your proof of insurance? Do you have it on your phone? And I thought, why the fuck would I turn my phone over to a cop?
Yeah.
Seriously? To show you
And
my
also,
insurance card?
they won't let you show them on their phone.
Well, this
On your
dumbass
phone.
asked for it.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, don't have it.
I have paper.
So I told him, I said, let me look in my console. I said, I'm opening my console because I want to explain to you because they're a little bit trigger happy with people of color. Because now I've got this white officer I fit their probably profile, black. We don't know what I was because I have short hair, but I'm driving an SUV, so I have to be a drug dealer. That's probably why he asked. So I'm mindful of this, and I said, I'm looking in my console for my proof of insurance. And true to form, I had 6 years worth of cards, and all of them had expired. So I said, I've got this one. He goes, well, it's expired. I said, I know that. And he goes,
It happens
well,
to everybody. No big deal.
I'm going to have to take your driver's license. I said, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And I sat there and with my hands at 10 and 2.
Yeah.
And I was, and you can't really watch him anymore because they shine that big bright light you can't see. And he comes back and he goes, well, I'm going to have to give you a ticket. And I said, okay. And he goes, but you know, you can. I said, I know what I can do. I can make it go away. And he said, okay, well, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to write you this ticket. And when he handed me the ticket, his hand was shaking. And I said...
Because he's a coward fucking asshole.
I said, are you all right, man?
Yeah.
He said, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I said, okay. Took my stuff back. And I said, are we done? He said, yeah, we're done. I said, thanks. Have a nice day. He said, thank you for being so kind. And I said, what did you expect? It's like, well, just thank you. And I was very nice. We ended the interaction. I probably had the best workout in the world. And I was so glad that I could throw barbells.
I call those rage
right.
runs.
Total rage.
Total rage runs.
Rage
I
runs.
think I cussed the whole way over because sometimes, and this is what fucking drives me crazy about Clarence Thomas. I don't care how accomplished you are as a black person in this country, and I'm not going to just say the N-word because let's just call it what it is. You will always be a nigger. Mm-hmm. And there's a former, he's passed away, Derek Bell, and I'm reading his book, Faces at the Bottom of the Well, and he says something far more eloquent than my dad ever said it, but white people need a group to look down on. And black people are that group, regardless of the accomplishments. I am as accomplished in some respects, if not more so, than a lot of white people I know and some of my friends.
This guy.
So I think it's important. So we're sharing anecdotal stories. I think those are really important for people who don't have the experiences you have to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because they give a basis to the frustration, the anger, the fear, the rage, the righteous rage that you and minority communities like Ashley and I are a part of feel, right? So when this is so personal to us. This is our lives. So there is no distinction between politics and personal. Our politics are a result of our lived experience.
Absolutely.
And this one probably feels specifically, for me, it felt specifically like, ugh, because I feel that the Democratic Party could have put any white male forward instead of Kamala.
We did
And
that
we
with
probably had the election.
Yeah.
Literally could have
Yeah.
chosen any of them. You could put a
100%.
line of them up.
Yep.
So that, to me, is part of the pain and the heartbreak of
Mm-hmm.
this particular feeling that just feels different than 2016 for me. Sorry, I took away your connection.
No, you didn't.
But I think you made a great point, because we talked upstairs, and I have black friends who say it is not our job to educate white women. And I said, yeah, it is, because look, they're not doing very well learning on their own.
Yeah.
We're women. We have that in common. What does it matter what your skin color is? Because you get shit on for a number of reasons because you're a woman. I get double shit because I've got a great tan. Okay, but
I get double shit because I look like a dude sometimes.
see, and that's just it. All of these little groups, my perfect dream was, let's have a real coalition and let's not act like crawdads and think, well, because I've got this name, I should be on top. Look, we're all at the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
How do we, and if you think about just the sheer numbers, the buying power of those groups at the bottom of the well, what if we'd say the athleticism, I will scream.
We just
got to
organize. Organize.
That's just it.
Organize.
And
which is kind of what you and I have been doing together of late.
Right.
Which is why you and I have been connecting and why we're
But don't
here.
you feel like the disease of white supremacy and the disease of misogyny are the systems that continue
it's
to
systemic.
tell a lie
That's
to
right.
white women about the only
100%.
way they have power is their proximity to their
white
whiteness and to
And
white
the white
men?
men. That's right. Yeah, 100%.
It's a lie that they keep just
But that's
scooping
not.
down
That's
their
where you
throat.
go. It's not an and or. Like, yes, factual, but still, we have to organize.
Absolutely.
And they don't know any better. So how are they going to know any better
I think
without
they know
somebody?
better. I
Do you
think they are fully fucking aware.
You know, then I
She's
like.
in a different circle than you and I with white
I would.
women.
I would
You are.
love.
Meaning what?
Meaning, like, you have you. I'll tell one of my favorite stories about Hailee.
This is gonna be good.
No, I liked it. When Maurice was on the show, she said,
Marique.
Sorry, Marique said to you,
She called me the white lady whisperer.
she was like the white lady whisperer. She's the white lady whisperer because she gets in the rooms and you
Well,
hear
I
a lot
look
of behind
like
the fucking scene
a
stuff.
senator's
I do
wife?
not.
Is that what she said? Or
Yes.
a senator's
I
wife?
do
Oh,
not.
God.
This is not somewhere I fit either,
Yeah.
nor
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
look like a big old
Yeah.
gay lady walking
Yeah.
around being gay.
No, people are saying things to me they're not saying to either of you.
right.
On
Absolutely.
accident.
You're the white
Yes,
whisperer.
yes.
They're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I didn't know
So that's
you were
what
the
I meant.
gay.
That's what I
Right,
meant by
exactly.
the comment.
They drop
and
yeah,
an
yeah,
activist,
yeah.
and that you give a shit about
I'm going
this
to need
other
you to
thing.
start recording all of these people. Let's just put them on record. You're coming on behind the bar. Fucking say it.
But the
We'll say your
point
names.
being, yes, I think we need to organize. There's no fucking doubt we need to organize. There's no doubt that what is powerful is the separation. That's what the fractions
Oh my
keep
God,
us
that's right.
disempowered.
That's exactly
But how do we address the misogyny, the internalized misogyny of women, the racism of white women? Because until we dismantle those things, there will always be a hierarchy.
You know, I'm not sure, and actually, I probably read too much. So, 1619 Project, wonderful book, full of great essays. I learned so much, and my minor is in Black history, and I thought, well, damn, they didn't teach me that.
Yeah.
Racism is built into this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, who knew that the basis of the police was to keep slaves intact?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one drop rule.
Horses.
Why is my
Yes.
nephew, whose mother obviously is black,
Yeah.
his father's Jewish, now he's got a son who's Jewish, black, Polynesian. Eli's black.
Yeah.
Because of the one drop
Yeah.
rule. And do we know why that one drop? And it's a rule that's been codified.
Yes.
Because the colonists were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
We've been fucking all these black women. We got all these black babies, and we don't want them to have rights to our
course.
property.
Yep.
So if you are born and you have one drop of black
That's
blood,
right.
you're black, and we don't do it. So there are so many systems in this country.
But you know, that's what I mean.
But
If,
how do-
if
I
we're
don't know how
So, like,
infected
again,
with it.
it's an, I don't, there, the answer to that I do not think can come out of this today.
I don't know that there is an answer.
Right.
Unless you
I
approach
wish-
it.
Unless we say it and we ask people to work from that place.
Well-
unless you acknowledge it, white folks, cis folks,
They're not gonna
straight
acknowledge
folks, unless you acknowledge it, Here's the thing.
I like that
racism
you're calling
is
them out on it, but
racism
they're not
is a
going to
disease. It
acknowledge it.
infects
It is.
all white people's minds. It's a disease.
Yeah.
You have to wake up every day and be anti-racist in your practice because you have a disease that lives in your brain.
And we all do. We
Yes,
all do.
correct.
Yes.
I used to think I wasn't racist until I found out
So
that I
listen
was.
to this though. Like,
I mean, had
crazy.
a bias.
And
Yeah.
bias,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what I'm saying is we have to confront some of that stuff before we. And I don't want to be patronizing, but say kumbaya and we just need to organize and we're more powerful together. There's no fucking doubt about that. But I'm talking brass fucking tacks. Like, how do we, because you said it, you said, how do we get these women to understand they're voting against their own self-interest?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to dismantle racism because they believe that their access to power is their proximity to white men.
I love your fire right
that's-
now. I think
that's
it's
true.
good.
That's
I think you need to
100% true.
hold this fire for a long time. We're gonna hold this fire.
I was born with this fire.
You need it.
Unfortunately, for
I need
everyone
it.
in
I
my
need it to
life.
stay. I met a lady at the bar the other day. I know we're shocked.
My shins are
I was at
sweating,
the
which
bar.
means I am a fucking angry.
So I was at the bar and I met this lady and her name was Carol Burnett. It's not the Carol Burnett. I told her to watch the podcast. If
Carol
you're
Burnett?
watching this Carol Burnett
Hey,
of
Carol.
the story that I
We
sat
are
at the bar
seeking
with,
sponsors.
she was so fucking awesome. 85-year-old-ish white woman sitting at the story
Are you sure
bar.
it wasn't the Carol
And
Burnett?
she says to me,
Right.
yes, I'm sure. She says, I mean, you could tell she was devastated about the
Yeah.
election.
Yeah.
This old white lady was devastated.
Yeah.
Because she has been asking herself that question every day for the last, say, 30 to 40 years.
She's
All that to
self-aware.
say, we have Carol Burnett at the bar. She's
Self-aware Carol Burnett.
So she says to me, the only thing that like is kind of keeping me going right now is this group that I'm in, and we've been doing it for 10 years, we'll call it. And it's called 100 Women in Kansas City.
Wow.
And what they do, and we could form 1,000 of these groups. Hold on.
Yes.
So she goes in once a quarter with the 100 women that have signed up to be in this group, and they all bring what's super on their hearts, a cause that's super on their hearts, and they drop it into a bucket, and they draw 3, and those 3 people go to the front of the room and they fight for that cause. This is why it's on my heart. This is why I believe this. And every person there gets their checkbook out, and they all write $100 or $500 check, and they drop $10,000 or $50,000 off because that meeting direct to that cause.
Wow.
And I was like, fuck, why do we not have like 10 more of those in Kansas City?
Did you get Carol's contact info?
Yes,
'Cause
she's
we're
already
gonna
emailed
have
me.
her on this fucking
Carol's already
show.
emailed me.
Okay.
But I'm just saying more
The Carol
more
Cup. Yes.
shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
The 3 of us are starting that group. We are starting a group like that. We'll let you know when the first meeting is. Okay.
And you know,
good. So
I
we
think you
need
start groups like
97
that.
more women.
Yeah, we do.
And go ahead and just comment on the show. I'm in that group. That's my group. And I'm committing to
And
$1,000 a year.
bring
and blah.
different women in so we
Yes.
can start to have that
Yes.
uncomfortable conversation. And you ask Christy, I thrive on uncomfortable conversations.
Me too.
I mean,
This is why we're so.
I do
Because-
not. I want to
oh,
like get it. When
I
you
know,
guys just
you-
called me out
you
on
keep
that
saying
word,
you're
I was
so
like,
fired
I gotta
up,
go.
and I'm like, I'm
I was like,
sweating.
I gotta go. I'm not used to getting called out for shit.
well,
That
I
was
just
terrible.
figure if we don't talk about it, when I went to college, I had that. I went to college in Greeley, Colorado, home of the Montforts, and my roommate clearly had never seen a black person.
I was
So-
gonna say Greeley, Colorado's
Yeah.
pretty white.
It's pretty white. It's pretty white. Of course,
I've never been. Don't want to know.
Very hippie, lots of
very
patchouli.
hippie. Yeah,
Minigan.
yeah. Of course, I don't think I realized I was really black until I was 21, and that was after I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and I realized that when I walked in a room, people weren't turning and looking at me simply because I was tall.
Because you were exceptional.
I was the only black person in the room. But anyway, I digress. So Asian walks in, and she's got like the curly afro, and I had what I call the white girl hair. So, you know, the long permed hair and shit. God, I'm glad I'm free of that. But
Ashley also had long permed hair.
she was like freaking out and so were her parents. And my dad, super cool dude. Daddy was like cracking up because he'd lean down and he goes, these white folks hadn't seen a nigga in their life. I said, I know, right? So we began with very fundamental things because my question to her was, why do white people wash their hair so much?
Oh yeah.
So kind of the joke with my very close white friends, we start out with, let's talk about hair care. And I'm the one asking the questions because I want to know, why do you wash your hair so much?
Mm-hmm.
What's with the foil in your hair? I don't get it. Help me understand. And then it kind of evolves into my hair care before and after. what a big leap it was for me to get my hair cut this short, and why, and the angst that I felt doing it when I did, because I did it like a long time ago. I did it probably my second year in law school because I had to decide if I was going to comb my hair or study, and I just thought, well, just take my hair off.
Yeah.
But then I had to think about what would it look like for a job interview when I walked in with a clearly Afrocentric hairdo. What did that mean? So we have conversations like that, and I want to create, and like I said earlier, there are some Black women who are like, I'm not doing that shit because I don't want to. I'm not that person.
What do you feel like is in your spirit that's different? Because I very fully respect Black women who are like, I'm not doing
Me too,
that
I
shit.
get it, because I'm tired.
Totally.
I am fucking tired.
So why are you continuing to drive forward and having conversations with white women?
Yes, good question.
Because I'm probably an eternal optimist. I think there is inherent good in everybody. Until you show me that.
You would fight that, wouldn't you?
No,
I mean, fundamentally, look, we're like, look at babies and dogs, right? I think they're the same thing. They come into this world, they're pure, they're nice, they don't have anything in them until what's poured into them.
Yeah. If
we start from that premise that we're like puppies and dogs, really sweet things, and bad shit has been poured into us based on our own experiences, you can correct those things.
That's a great freaking answer to your question.
And also, I mean, if you were to come to my family reunion, even my immediate family, it was really cute. Eli, the first time Eli touched my hair, he was like, wait, what? Because he's never felt hair like this before. And
who's Eli?
Eli is my nephew's little boy. He's my entire world.
Yeah.
But Eli thought it was so cool to touch Nani's hair because Nani's hair didn't feel like even his father's hair. Matt doesn't have, his siblings have curly hair. Matt's hair is black and straight, kind of like his dad. Caitlin, Polynesian.
Yeah.
She's got straight hair.
Yeah.
So he touches Nani's hair and he's like, wow, this is really cool. And I told Matt, I said, I love this boy because I'm letting him touch my hair.
Yeah.
So it's about educate. I still have, and even after the election, I have a responsibility to Eli, to your kids.
Yes.
We all have that responsibility.
We do.
If
We
we
can't
want to
fold
change
on
that
that.
world, then we have to pour into doing something better. by educating
The thing
people.
that keeps floating, I'd cheers you, but I'm out of drinks because I got mad.
I'm not going to give you a gin.
This is an important point. My best friend was sending me an article about something else to be outraged about.
Because you need
5
that.
days
Because
after
you need
the
more
election.
articles like that. Yeah, that's
No,
great.
but so I said to her, here's the thing. So I need you to pick two things that are your passion points, where you feel like you could make the most discernible impact with your skill set and your time and your money.
That's good. I
Two
like that.
things. And I need you to not fall into this outraged collapse because you will become so overwhelmed by the outrage.
Maybe you should give that advice to the camera.
You will become unable to make an impact. So
That's
I
right.
actually,
That's exactly right.
after 2016, and I laid in my basement for an entire week, literally in total emotional collapse. I am a white, affluent, able-bodied, college-educated, cis woman who lives in Mission fucking Hills. And I'm laying in my basement crying in the floor. Literally.
Like, what are you
That's a
crying
true
about?
story, actually,
Right?
though.
Yeah.
And I remember having this real clear moment of, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, because if I was your friend, I'd go, bitch, get your fucking ass
What
up off the floor.
level of
that's what I would've said.
privilege
That's right.
do
That's
I
You actually
have?
did say that to a few of us after this last election.
I probably did,
You
yeah.
did. That was,
Yeah.
Well,
We
We needed to hear it.
The spirit
needed
of
to
you,
hear it.
the
You
spirit
did.
of you visited me
Good.
and said,
the spirit
what
of you
level
visited.
of privilege do you have?
That's right.
That you think you can just fall into total emotional
Right.
collapse.
Right.
That is a fucking privilege.
Yeah.
Right?
It is.
To become apathetic.
It is.
To not get back in the fight.
It is.
To see people you love being disenfranchised and or killed, murdered in the
That's
street,
right.
and to say, okay, I'm done, I'm out, that felt really hard, I'm out of here.
I need a minute.
I need a minute.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Any liberation movement. You have to get up in the dark, in the cold, and put your arms around the people that are still there and bring them by the fire. You have to make breakfast. You have to feed people.
Right.
You have to. So after the 2016 election, I made a strategic plan for myself. And I was like, what are the things
Oh my God.
that I can do
Impressive.
that only I can do?
This is after one
strategic
espresso
plan.
martini. We're going to get the plan. You pay attention, motherfuckers.
No, but I'm just saying. And I was like, what are the 2 or 3 things that I can make a discernible difference on?
What were they?
So trans rights, but
You're,
which I'm doing.
very active there.
Helping the Democratic Party, whether it's local or national, become better, more efficient
And
at
you're
what they
doing
do.
that.
Yep.
I'm giving you your yes.
And
yes,
then my
check.
community. So it became really clear to me that I was serving a lot of folks in my life who weren't doing the work and weren't giving back to me, and I was wasting my energy on. So I tightened my circle up, and I was like, these are the people that get my time, attention, and energy. So for me, that's my nieces and nephews like you. That's their parents. That's my immediate families, my immediate circle. And every year that circle has gotten tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter to 2024. It's a small little motherfucking
You
circle.
can crack into that thing.
So you have to crack into mine. It's
good.
It's
There
they're
you
tight.
go.
They're tight.
So
They're tight.
that to be
I'm
said,
a whore over here. If anybody needs a hug,
that
a
said,
meal. Okay, a speed round.
Okay.
These are gut reaction
rapid fire.
answers.
First, boom, boom.
These questions are meant to make you maybe laugh a little.
Okay.
If you don't want to answer one, just tell me to fuck
No.
off.
I'll just say pass.
no, you have to answer
All right.
them.
Give it to me.
If you were a movie character, who's playing you and why?
Viola Davis.
Ooh,
We don't even need a why.
the queen.
Drop the
The
mic.
queen.
Boom. Yeah, Viola Davis.
Who is your favorite KC current player?
Chimoa. Who else?
Me too.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Who else?
Damn.
And then Lola Bata.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she watches our podcast too.
Girl.
We love you, Lola Banta. Tommy is my nephew.
We want to interview you guys.
Yeah.
If you're down.
Lo, you're invited.
What percentage gay are you?
50-50 probably.
True bisexual.
Yeah,
The
100%.
unicorn
Old school.
bisexual.
Yeah,
Old school bye.
Yeah.
Love it.
Biggest celebrity crush?
Denzel Washington.
Also,
Denzel.
Who is your political hero?
Jimmy Carter.
Oh, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Dude, 100 years old and he hung on.
Yeah.
Give me 4 more, Jimmy.
I will take a Jimmy right now.
I'll take
give us
Jimmy.
2 more.
I'll
We
take
take
a couple
Jimmy,
Jimmys.
but Jimmy
them
had this
up.
shit all right.
Give some Jimmy over here.
Jimmy
Let's-
energy.
Let's rub
Yeah.
off some Jimmy energy.
Jimmy.
Jimmy energy.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure fashion brand?
Patagonia.
Old Navy. Oh, Patagonia.
Did you say Old Navy?
But I
Sorry, Old Navy and then followed by Patagonia.
Patagonia.
Or maybe
We're
it's
looking for
Orvis. Orvis and Patagonia.
Well, I
What's
love to fly
Orvis?
fish and be outside.
Girl,
Orvis.
Orvis
I
has
don't know
the-
what Orvis is.
Orvis has
Fly
the
fishing.
best female, but they have some cute female clothes. I got into it with fly fishing. And then I saw the women's line. I'm like, shit.
Fly fish too.
Oh yeah, I fly
We're like
fish.
the same person.
You're very similar. I knew this would be a hit. This is why
love
this.
fly fishing.
Okay.
Do you do waders?
Yes.
Oh God.
I just did it
I'm like dumped on this.
3 months
I
ago.
literally I
Oh my
can't connect
God.
at all. They probably can't.
I'm going to tell you about this fly fish camp. You're
You
going
guys
to die. You
camp?
got to go.
Where?
It's in Colorado. It's right outside of Colorado
She
Springs.
goes.
Okay.
She just caught like 1 million fish fly fishing.
With my dad. I'm with my dad.
Oh God. it's
I
so
don't
sweet.
think you. I'm feeling very.
Who is
left out.
basically Jimmy
Can we
Carter.
just talk about something that we might all
Okay,
three
keep
connect
going.
on? really
Keep
quick,
going.
though?
Keep going.
That's the speed round question. What
Let's
could
talk
the
about
three of us
Gucci
connect
glasses.
with? Yeah, let's. What is your very, very least favorite popular song of all time?
I love rock and roll.
Oh, thank
terrible.
God.
God.
That's a
So
horrible
overdone.
song.
Yeah, it's overdone.
Can we put it in the show?
I love rock and
Oh
roll.
my God. Can we just stop with that?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were a drink, what would you be and why?
A dirty martini. Because if you drink it too fast, you could get knocked on your ass, and sometimes I might do that.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on
my
Behind
God,
the
Thanks for
Bar.
having me.
What a
wish I
great
had something to
episode.
share.
This was like.
Can you just drink a little bit of gin? For
Yeah,
the
okay.
Sake,
Yep.
For the sake of.
Oh, mixed with a little
Okay,
bit.
cheers.
There it is. I'm gonna watch you swallow it. Swallow it. Put
I'm
it
gonna
down.
watch you swallow it.
It's gonna be bad luck if
Do I
you
have
don't.
espresso beans in my
Wow,
teeth?
that was
No.
no.
Follow us on Behind the Bar because we're back.
We're back, baby.
And we are going to be more obnoxious,
We're going to be more of everything.
More of everything.
More of everything. That is the energy we're taking into 2025.
Yes.
More of everything.
More of everything.
Everything you love and everything you hate.
If you want to
fucking
join
know
our
that.
100 Women of Kansas City group, please just comment and you're in. The first 100, come on in. I'll organize. I'm going to organize this.
Which means
Thank
I'm
you,
going to
Carol
organize
Burnett.
it. Behind the bar
She is
Instagram,
going to
behind the bar
organize
YouTube.
try again.
Please
Couple
like
people
and
right
subscribe.
now.
You think it doesn't matter? You think that writing a review or sharing doesn't matter? It matters. We are two little humble, hobbled
She meant to say
women.
hot women.
Hot, humbled
That's
women
it.
that are just looking to try to make a little bit of difference. We made an agreement when we came back. We said we're going to make art. We're going to be queer. We're going to be creative. We're going to be righteous in our rage, and we are going to fuck shit up.
And we're going to keep calling you out, Old Navy, until you give us some
God
money.
damn it!
This
Give
is
us some pajama pants for Christ's
Come
sake.
on! Patrice Brown,
The one and only.
what a wonderful interview. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
I loved it.